Okay, good evening, everybody. Let's go ahead and get started. Let me know if you guys can hear my audio and see my screen in the chat box. Just give me a little Y or yes there, just to let me know that it is working. Hope everybody's having a pretty good evening so far. Hopefully your trading has been going well. If not, we'll get that changed. We're midweek right now, so we did have a couple of rough signals to start the week, but I am pretty confident going forward with some of the other things that we've got going on. We've got some other good signals that we're taking. We'll talk about those signals tonight in addition to the COT report, especially because so much of it is related to the COT report. But as we get started here, let's go over our disclaimer. As always, I just need to remind you guys about the risks involved in the market. You can lose all or more than your initial investment if you're not careful. So please be aware of how many pips you're risking and how big your lot size is, and ultimately how that would affect your account if you were to lose money. So go through that process each and every time that you take a trade. All right, guys. So I want to show you a couple of things. So let's first of all, let's take a look at the COT report this week. I thought I updated this. I guess not. Let me pull this up here. Here we go. Okay. So this is as of, there we go, yeah, 11/01/2022. Okay. And it's basically still, yeah, like a short euro franc is the opportunity, which we're actually seeing quite a few advances that direction. There's some other currencies I'm shorting right now. I actually just took a short on the pound franc that looks really good. I'll have to show you guys kind of my analysis behind that and some other things. But yeah, let's just kind of do a synopsis of this. So the COT report this week, still reporting euro short, franc short, or excuse me, euro short, franc long. You've got Kiwi long, pound's not a bad option either. You've got yen that's long. Not much has changed. This is still the big overall consensus across the big banks. They're still shorting these currency pairs and currencies specifically. And it's been, several months that they've been in this bias, right? Which is something I want to emphasize when you're using the COT report. It should be like an overall, like if you're doing a top-down approach when you're trading your strategies, look at the COT report as like this big overall picture, like the biggest picture you could possibly print. Okay. And then from there, you're going down, you're looking at like the daily chart, the hourly chart, you're looking for your setups from there. Will there be opportunities to buy the euro franc even though it's an overall short? Absolutely. You're going to have tons of buy opportunities, but overall, that should be the direction. Like if you find a solid signal to short the euro franc or like the pound franc or maybe the buy the Kiwi franc or something like that, those should be what you're looking for overall, as long as your system or whatever you do lines up with that opportunity, right? So anyway, so that's something to be aware of when you're trading these. Like I want to show you guys some really cool stuff that I've been working on. So if you look at, this is actually a signal I want to take with you guys, and we'll post it probably in the Telegram in this hour while we're here. It's just something that I've been wanting to, it's just something I looked up and something that looks really good to me. So I have been changing, not necessarily how I've been trading, but I've been very methodical about which trade setups I'm taking on my own account, some of the things that I'm doing. One of the things that's really been hitting me hard, especially as I study, because like I spend a lot of my time studying other traders too. I'm not just like this guy that like, oh man, Steve knows a lot of like everything. I don't know everything. You guys know that. I definitely know a lot of stuff. And I have my systems, I have the things that I do to make money, but I'm always looking at, hey, what is this other guy doing? Or what is this other guy doing? I want to know. I'm always kind of like eager to learn as much as I can from everybody that I can learn from. And one of the things that's been pretty consistent up across a lot of the really successful traders that I've been following is how they trade market structure. Okay. They are price action traders. They trade off of price. Everything else kind of helps. Like as you guys have noted this week, we've been looking at some really cool tools, right? We've been using these order block tools. I've got this volume indicator tool as well. So many different things that kind of aid us in what we're doing. But overall, these things happen because of price action, because of just response to how price is performing, right? So one of the things that I like to do, if you're going to trade, for example, I'm looking to take a short here on the pound franc, and I'm going to go for about 100 pips on this trade, and I think this is going to make us this is going to be a trade signal. I'm looking for a little over 100 pips on this trade. So it's like a 120 pip move. So a couple of things I want to show you guys that's really, really awesome on this guy. And this kind of agrees with the COT report, right? Like to some extent, right? I guess not necessarily on the pound side, because technically the pound's a buy right now overall, but the franc is a well, I guess the franc is a long. And so if you're long franc, you want this to go down because it's on the quote side of it. It's on the quote side, if that makes sense. So anyway, I was looking at this. Yes, just yesterday, the pound franc was all the way up here in this area. And just today alone, it just went on a tear. It was just ripping faces off. I mean, this thing just came down 200 pips in just today. And I don't know if you could have projected that exactly. I mean, obviously there's a lot of sell order blocks up here, so maybe I should have been a little more cognizant of that fact and spotted this earlier, but I'm all over it now. So basically what's going on is, and if you zoom in, look how when it came down today, it gave the biggest disrespect. It was super disrespectful to this support right here, just super disrespectful, right? To me, what that says is that whoever's selling this has intentions to go much further than this support that's right here. And we know this, I like to look at this volume indicator for this purpose. So if you look towards the left of your screen, you'll see this volume indicator. This you can see these lines shooting out. Where these lines are shooting out, these are a bunch of buys and sells. It's an imbalance of trades. There's a lot of different buys and sells going on here. So if you look at the candlesticks, one of the reasons why you see so many buys and sells in this area is because the market spent a lot of time in this area, right? It's been in here quite a bit. Look at where these volume lines come out that are kind of shorter. How much time does the market spend in these areas where it's shorter? Not very long, right? You can see right here in this little area where these lines are not as long, market went fast up, fast down, right? And it spends more time where these lines are longer, okay? So where are we right now? Well, this dotted line is where we're at, and we are now at a spot where there's not a lot of volume. So we are at a very short-term pit stop today because we're in the Tokyo session. There's not a lot of volume, especially on the pound franc. You're not going to see as much volume and as not as much movement you're going to see on here. So you have this tight place in the market where there's not a lot of traders, or historically there haven't been a lot of traders in this area, and markets always return to where volume's at. These are the pit stops that we talk about when you're on a road trip. So it's going to want to go to here, it's going to want to come to here at some point, it's going to want to come to here, and maybe to this one up here. But in between, these are the freeways. You don't stop. You know, if you got a bathroom break, too bad. You wait till the next one. You know, oh, we're here. Okay, wait till the next one. This doesn't necessarily tell you which direction the market's going to go, but it does tell you where you are in terms of, are we at a break in our travels, or are we continuing along in our travels? And right now we are in a unique spot where we're mostly on our way through travels. Like we just passed the pit stop and we are going on the freeway, right? Now, question is, should we form support here? Should this be a place of interest for the banks to stop the market right here? I'm going to make the argument that it's not, because for a couple of reasons. One, again, the market massively disrespected this level. It had no interest in staying up there. It just went right through it with really no problem. Okay. The other thing that that I feel like we're seeing here is obviously you have a head and shoulders up here too, which is just helpful towards the concept that we're talking about, right? This is the shoulder, this is the head, this is the shoulder. You know, we should see follow through on this to the downside. There are no buy order blocks. This is on a 2-hour time frame. I don't have any buy order blocks in this area. Surprisingly, right? No buy order blocks. Now, actually going back out here, if you zoom in, you'll see I actually have another sell order block right here. So some big institutions came in about a couple of hours before the New York market closed today, and some institutions shorted on the, you know, on this higher time frame, the pound franc. Why would you do that at the end of the trading day if you're a big institution? Probably because you think something's going to happen tomorrow where the market may continue, especially because it wasn't a buy. That's not a buy order block. If it's in red, I have a couple of different indicators that I'm running. I have this one and this guy right here. So, or excuse me, I have this one and I have this one. Oops. This one specifically, it is showing that there are some sellers. The banks are selling right here. They came in at the end of the day and started doing that. Did the other one indicate that? No, not yet. But what both order blocks, I'm not sure which data set is being reported from each. I want to contact these developers and find out, you know, which banks are being included in this data set. But if you look down here, both of these data sets show that there's no buyers until real buyers until these areas right here. Okay. And we're just right in the middle of that. So the fact that there's no volume at this current level, there's no volume, there's no buyers. Okay. No volume, no buyers until here is a big deal. The other thing too, guys, in terms of market structure, a lot of people, I've learned this from a lot of folks, they look for things like this. Let me actually use this other chart to show you this. It's a little easier to draw things out over here. So if you're ever looking for a reversal trade, if you ever want to buy, let's say you want to buy the pound franc at some point, I really don't think right now is a good time to buy, because what I've learned is you want to go back and look at, on these higher time frames, what caused the most recent breakout. So if you come here, this was the most recent structure, this right here, okay, before this breakout to the upside happened. And then obviously we're pulling back from that. What caused it? You know, what caused that breakout? This is what caused that breakout, this little area right here. So whoever came in here and put in these orders to buy is what caused that breakout. Now, surprising, actually to no surprise, if you compare that, what I just drew out here, with where the banks have bought, look where their next buy block is. It's at that previous structure that broke, and the mechanism that caused the break in the structure. This is the mechanism that did it. And of course, there's a buy block there. And then this was the structure that went away. It broke away. So if the market pulls, when the market pulls back, it ought to pull back to that mechanism. That's where the liquidity pile is going to be, the supply and demand zone it will be. And that's where the you're going to see the market kind of stop. So from what I've been able to view, from what I've been able to observe here, it looks like this market's going to continue lower until it gets into this box right here, at which point you'll want to take your profits and maybe even consider going the other direction. That might not be a bad place to buy. In fact, might be a great place to buy. And it would be a phenomenal place to take your profits on your sell. Obviously, I wish I had sold yesterday, but I think this is a great little trade. I'm going to do a little anti-martingale type of thing. And actually, I'll show you how I'm going to do this over here. So you guys can follow along if you want. Basically, what I do is since I know that I've got like 100 pips to go, basically where my profit taking is going to be at that mechanism. So this is the thing, this is the little area that caused the market to go on a rally. This thing right here, that's where you want to take your profits. And so since that's the area we want to close out there, I'll probably switch to a buyer the moment that happens and close out all my sells. But you can see just from the current price of the market down to here, that's 114 pips or so, right? 100 whatever, 20, I don't know. So I'm going to try to take a pretty big trade on it, but it's not one of those things I'm just going to go all in right now. Sure, I'll take an order to buy, or excuse me, an order to sell right now, but I think I'm going to scale into it. So that's what I did with the USD CAD the other day, the trade where I made, what was it, the $7,000 or $8,000 on, well, I guess it was yesterday. Yesterday I made $7,000 or $8,000 on that USD CAD short, basically exact same trade. Okay, it had sells at support. You had a sell block at support. We had this huge gap with no volume in between here and here. There's no volume in between here. There is a ton of volume once you get to here, and obviously a buy order block. So this is all free game for profit. So since all that's profit potential, I think we could just scale in. Like I could put in a sell, 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 and then basically just take all of our profits in this area. Okay, that's something that I'm thinking of. That's kind of the way I'm thinking about going about this. You could just sell now, like the full lot size, risk the whole thing on one trade, and then stop out at a reasonable spot or something like that. Yeah, you could certainly do that, and just try to get a better price. Yeah, your stop loss is going to be like 50 pips, something like that, and then you're riding down to here. You could also wait for it to break this old low, and then once it breaks that low tonight, you'll make 75 pips, and it's a lot. It's a more surefire trade, I would say, but I'd still say this is still good to just do like an anti-martingale type of thing. So you're adding to the trade as it goes in your favor type of thing. So I'm going to go ahead and set this guy up. Let's see. Let me read your comment real quick before I go ahead and do that. So Lee says, sorry, I missed your discussion about these two indicators, but is there a way to get them without opening an account with TradingView? Gotcha. So basically, I don't know where else to get these indicators. I've been trying to put them on MT4. There's a couple of different places I looked into where you can get them, but they're just not as good. Um, so, and these are different. And again, to give credit where credit's needed, this guy's Sonar Lab, he actually has a YouTube channel. You can look him up. AGFX, I think they do too. You can look them up. Lux Algo is huge. This is a kid, he's a programmer and trader. I get his ads all the time. As soon as you start using his stuff, you're going to get his ads, right? Um, and yeah, that's nice, but I don't know how else to do it. So with TradingView, you can get an account for free. It's actually free to have a TradingView account, but they have ads like that pop up every 3 minutes on your charts, and it gets kind of annoying. And so I think it's like $12 a month or $10 a month to avoid that. So I just paid the $10 monthly to avoid that, and it gives me a few other benefits. But I think you can still get these indicators without paying the monthly, because it is free to have a TradingView account, but you do have to have a TradingView account to answer your question in order to get those. But yeah, so I've been just incorporating this concept along with the COT report and along with everything else that we've been doing, just to try to give us an even bigger and better edge in the market as much as we can. That's what I'm trying to accomplish. Let's definitely come back to let's go back over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a couple of trades at market. I'm just going to go ahead and just take a couple of orders to sell right now. And then just so that I'm in right away. And then again, I want to put my targets at just below or just above that mechanism right there. Okay, again, this is huge. Everybody I study does almost this exact same thing. They go back on the higher time frame. They find out what caused a breakout, whatever it was that caused the breakout. That's where support generally forms in the future. Okay. I will show you more examples of that if we have time at the end here, which is awesome. So, oh, that's cool. Yeah, it's almost like using a dome for futures trading. Yeah, where you can see the buy. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and those are there's depth of market tools too. Yeah, and I'm trying to get more tools like that you can put on the MT4. So far, a lot of the places that I found, they cost a lot of money to get those kinds of tools just because of how powerful they are. So I've been just kind of using what's been put out on TradingView, been playing with different. I think I've tried out every single different order block indicator on TradingView, and I've got these two that I like the most. Like I showed you, it's these Sonar Lab order blocks and then the AGFX order blocks. I like those two the most. And then Lux Algo, he has so many different indicators that are pretty cool. I mean, you can really clutter your chart with indicators. I mean, I have 3 indicators on my chart. That's kind of my max. Like, I don't know if I would want any more indicators than that, right? Okay, so let's come back over here. So with these stop losses, we can have these kind of tight because this thing's either going to work or it's not. So if it's not going to work, I'd rather get out earlier. And this is good because this gives us a 2 to 3 to 1 reward to risk ratio. Let's see, going for 107 pips and I'm risking 57. Okay, so it's like 2 to 1. 2 to 1 is what we're getting. I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to do my little anti-martingale concept as well. So this is basically saying, hey, if this market doesn't, I want to add to it as it goes in my favor. If it doesn't go in my favor, I don't want to add to it, right? But yeah, hey, I'll take the profits if this does want to go in our favor. And I will get pretty aggressive with this account if, you know, doing this type of thing, you know, because this is the type of thing where you can, if you wake up in the morning and your analysis was right, and you know the market goes in your favor like you had expected it to, you can really wake up to, like I said, that 7, 8, 9, 10% return in your account. And because we have a tighter stop loss, you know, I feel comfortable doing this type of thing. Okay, perfect. And yeah, let's actually bring those stops in to where they belong. Let's go back to that chart. Let's go back to an hourly, I guess. I am being pretty aggressive here, so I do want to just highlight that, like, you know, if you're not comfortable with that, you just want to take one single order, then yeah, just take one single order and be done. Again, I want all my stops here just, you know, at 50 pips or less. So I'm going to have to move all these in. Again, I can get away with a tighter stop loss because, again, I am looking for a breakout. If it doesn't break out, then I don't want to be in this. And also, I'm only in 2 trades right now. I will only add to this again if this market really starts to push our favor in our favor. Then yes, I will push, and I'll try to, you know, milk this trade quite a bit. But yeah, since I'm going for, let's see, actually we'll do that fun part in just a second. But on this account, I'm going for 100 pips, you know, with a max 1.6 lot. So, you know, I would like to make about $1,500, $1,600 on this trade, on this account. And then I'm also taking this trade on my FTMO account. So I'm going to try to make another $8,000 or something like that on my FTMO account. And what's nice is, and actually I need to scoot some of these out just a little bit more, to be honest. I've got these really tight. So let me go back in there and make some adjustments. I've got these pretty tight. I'm going to say I'll scale in out to here. So yeah, that's probably fine. Yeah, that's good. And then, yeah, let's go work on these targets. And again, if you kind of can refer back to the volume too, and where these buy blocks are, because this market's, it really is going to find a huge rejection at this support right here. Again, it is 120 pips away or whatever, but I'd probably like to be out of every single trade by the time it gets there. So let's make sure that we do that. Because, and I'll probably switch and go long as soon as that happens. So I'm bringing all these targets to just above this thing right there. I will put money, literally put money, literally, that that's going to be the new support level. That will be the new support. And this market may come up and test, like you can see it's testing this old support right here. I really think it's going to get rejected at that red line right there. You know, if it wants to keep going up, that's fine. It's going to get rejected and at some point up here, and it's going to come right back down. And what's nice is, and this is kind of why I do the martingale, the anti-martingale version, is I'm not in a very big trade right now. I'm just in 1 or 2 trades, smaller lot sizes. And my lot size really won't increase unless the trade goes in my favor like I expect it to. And so if I lose and hit stops right now, it's like, okay, well, you lost on 2 trades. But I had like 20 trades that I was going to get into. And yeah, that can stink. Let's say this market comes in my favor, trips me into those trades and comes back up. Yeah, that I can lose pretty hard on that. But whereas I've done a lot, I've spent hours on this analysis today. I feel really good about this setup. My biggest concern is timing because I know it's going to get there. I know it's going to come here. But is it going to happen, you know, this tonight, or is it going to kind of play out and form a support here and then come down? The thing is, I'd be so surprised. I would be so surprised if this market formed a support in this area, because again, you come back out to this analysis, how would it do that? You know, there's no volume to do that. It won't form support where there isn't volume, right? And then the last time it was in this area, it did basically, if I can grab it, this is what it did the last time it was in this area. It just 2 bars up, 2 bars up. So it's already kind of surprising that it's held off right here. I think this honestly has to do with the fact that it's out of market right now. We're out of session. There's no session right now that's able to push this. So since we're out of session right now, that's why it hasn't just continued lower. Anybody who's buying this right now is in for a rude awakening. I'm just telling you, they're in for a rude awakening. Who's buying this? You're in big trouble. That's why we're selling, right? So, okay, so that looks really good to me. I really like this particular setup. Again, we used a lot of cool stuff. We looked at order blocks, right? We have a sell order block right here, a continuation of the sell that's been happening all day today, and a continuation of it. We don't have any buy blocks anywhere in sight until the take profits. That's when the next buy order block comes along. There is no volume, right, where the market's currently sitting right now. So the chance of a reversal, it's like you can't have a reversal where there isn't volume, right? You have to have that. So you'll get that reversal right here. So this is like a dead cat bounce. This is a dead, I'm on recording right now. I'm telling you what this is. This is a dead cat bounce. And people are going to get smashed on this trade. So, so if you come back here, what should happen tonight when we get back in session is, you know, this. It's gonna come to there, and it may detour the way it does this, but it should, it really should come back into here, right? No one's buying this. There is a buy order block right here, but it's what caused this move, right? But that's over. And all these sell order blocks just kind of piled in everywhere, right in this area. And they're continuing. They're not even done yet. You can see this other one, little sneaky one right here at the end of the trading day. That happened about 2 hours before the New York market closed today. That little sneaky sell order block. They're not done selling. They're not done. So, get ready for that. So I'm pretty excited. This is gonna be a good trade. I'm really excited. I'm hoping, I mean, we'll see what happens, right? Anything could happen. And if it doesn't work out, we'll go to the next trade. That's just how trading works, right? You really do have to put on your move on, move on to the next thing cap with trading, because yeah, you're gonna have really big win, like you can have really big winners like this trade if it works out. Like if it works out, sure, yeah, I'm gonna be really excited in the morning. It may take longer than the morning, who knows? But yeah, like that's gonna be a really big win on all my different accounts. But um, and if it doesn't work out, we've limited our risk. We've got a tighter stop loss. That 2 to 3 to 1 reward to risk ratio is important to have. And then we'll just move on to the next trade. And we'll just, next guy up type of thing. So yeah, anyway, I like this one. I will post this one as a actual signal for folks to take. Let me actually switch to an account. Like obviously here I'm trading this the way I like to trade, with the, add to the position pretty heavily as it goes in your favor rather than just getting in now. So let me switch to a different account. And let me see if we can, let me see if I can take this trade differently here. So basically, I want to do this. I'll just take one single order for everyone to see. And then this is going to be, target right here type of thing. And then put our stop loss. Honestly, that's all I need right there. So 54, 58 pips, that's fine. I could also just do the breakout, wait for a breakout of this low and then go from there. That might be the safer thing to do. In fact, I'm going to do that just because we need to book pips. We need to show a profit. We've had some really interesting trades recently. This is going to mean less for the signals program. I'm still going to trade it the way I'm going to trade it, but I'm going to wait for an actual break of that low for the actual signal. So it's a lot more conservative trade, more likely to win, more conservative, but I want to kind of guarantee us a win type of thing. There. I'll just kind of highlight some of the stuff that we're looking at right here. The bust in the low, breakout. Okay. Let me go ahead and take a screenshot of that. So I'm just going to call this the pound franc. Okay, so in fact, that could be a really good spot to sell at right there. It really could be. especially because there's a sell order block right in there, as you know. And there's no buyers right now on this guy. No buyers. I mean, sure, looks like they're buying right now, but I mean, that's market can do that and then continue. All right, so this is the pound franc. I just want to download. Okay. I'm just putting this into Telegram for everybody. This is a sell stop order. We're going to sell at 1.11569, and we will take our profits at 1.10757, and we will stop out at 1.12215. 1.12215, 1.11569, and 110,757. Okay, perfect. Awesome. Pound franc. Okay, awesome. So that should be posted now. That's the more conservative option, obviously, but the one that I'm really focusing on is, my anti-martingale approach, where I'm going to just sell into it. I'm going to sell into the break to the downside. Yeah, if it wants to really break hard to the downside, fantastic. We'll make our money on that. We'll be really happy. So well, awesome. Let's see. I think that's about it. I'm going to let this trade run. We'll find out how it plays out in the morning. Hopefully everybody else who's not here is able to grab it. I'm excited about it. We'll see how it goes. But I appreciate your attendance, Lee and Sam and everybody else that was here. And we'll see you guys tomorrow in the live trading session. Thanks for coming.